This story is 100% true, according to my recollection, and one of the reasons for starting up this channel. It may seem far-fetched. I struggle to believe it myself as I recall it. And as such, I have not shared it publicly bar a few trusted friends and family. Here is the story. When I was 13, living a mere 50 k's away from Tamworth in the heart of rural New South Wales, my mum granted me the rare privilege of going to a party in town. I lived 6 k's out of town on a small 52-acre farm. Her voice was stern, her eyes piercing, as she laid down a single rule. Please don't go out after midnight. I chuckled, attributing it to her usual overprotective nature. But what happened that night would not have even entered her mind of things that could go wrong. The evening of the party was a typical one for teenagers. We gathered around a dimly lit table, the flickering light due to a faulty globe. It casted ghostly shadows on our faces. One by one, we began sharing ghost stories, each more spine-chilling than the last. We laughed, dismissing them as mere tales meant to frighten children. Yet, as the clock's hands inched closer to midnight, a reckless idea took root. Fueled by the adrenaline of the stories and the weight of peer pressure, I threw down a dare to venture into the darkest, most haunted corner of our town. Despite the tales we'd just shared, deep down, none of us truly believed in the supernatural. Our expedition commenced on the town's tension bridge. Its narrow walkway, suspended precariously above the inky river below, seemed to sway with our every step. The night was so dark that it felt like walking through velvet, the clouds having swallowed any trace of moonlight. Our laughter, a mix of genuine amusement and nervous tension, echoed eerily around us. We soon found ourselves on the town's main street, which was bathed in the soft glow of sporadic street lamps. The town seemed to be holding its breath, watching, waiting. Beyond the small police station lay our destination, an ancient railway track, a silent testament to the gold rush era. A fragile footbridge beckoned us towards it. The air grew colder, and I noticed a few of my friends hesitating, their earlier bravado evaporating, but something within me, a cocktail of fear and intrigue, propelled me forward. Out of nowhere, a shadow shifted in the periphery. Panic surged through our group, scattering us like leaves in the wind. But I was paralyzed, every fiber of my being focused on the approaching figure. It was a boy, but to my growing horror, his head was conspicuously absent. Yet, I felt an intense gaze, as if he was looking right through me. A distant shriek shattered the trance. One of my friends was yelling, urging me to flee. I spun around, and when my eyes darted back, the boy had vanished. In his stead, a ghostly light floated, bobbing gently. My legs finally found their strength, and I sprinted to catch up with my friends. The journey back to the party felt endless. When we finally burst through the side gate, our faces were ashen, our breaths ragged. The party's jovial atmosphere had been irrevocably tainted. We went to bed in silence. Laying in bed, I sought to reconcile what I had seen. Was it my mind playing tricks? Had my friends just been fearful and therefore didn't see it but ran anyway? I drifted into some form of sleep. The morning dawn light brought about some semblance of normalcy. As I was nursing a cup of coffee, a friend approached, her face etched with concern. "What did you see?" she whispered. I recounted the previous night's events, and as I spoke, her face drained of color. She began to narrate a local legend. Afterwards, I was annoyed as I thought she was mocking my story and was trying to fuel the fear and unrest I was trying to subside. But she insisted that it was true, and she had not believed it either until she heard my story and the bits she witnessed as well. This is that legend. During the gold rush, a young boy from a Chinese immigrant family was playing on those very tracks, which was perched high above the ground above the wooden structure that now lays derelict. A train could be heard in the distance. The boy, trying to move away, got wedged in the gap, and he was tragically killed by decapitation. His devastated father, unable to bear the grief, ended his own life. Rumor had it that the headless apparition would try to possess those who lingered too long, while the floating light was the spirit of the heartbroken father. A cold shiver coursed through me. The legend eerily mirrored my experience. I'd always been a skeptic, but now, doubt gnawed at me. I would tell no one that story until now, but a small few trusted friends. Was it just a vivid mind filled with ghost stories that led to what I witnessed? To this day, I still don't know if what I saw was real. I have not been able to, with certainty, verify the legend. It is hard not to believe what I saw, because it is just as real to me now as it was back then. Years have since rolled by. I've moved across the country, and I've kept this tale locked away. I've never again set foot in that haunted part of town again, even when I visit. Some memories are best left undisturbed, some places best left untouched. But that night serves as a haunting reminder of the blurred lines between reality and folklore, and the chilling ways they can sometimes merge. If you want to hear more true and not so true stories, please click that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can be notified of when we share more Shriek and Shadow stories.